Speed and comfort rarely coexist. One usually demands sacrifice from the other. Yet every generation of riders keeps searching for that elusive balance. The machine that can handle a long highway stretch without losing its spark in the twisties. Some bikes promise it, but few ever deliver beyond marketing slogans. Today, we look at a new kind of middleweight cruiser that refuses to sit still. A bike built to blend confidence, style, and athleticism into something truly modern. Before we dive into what makes this machine stand apart in both engineering and emotion, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more deep dive features, and drop a comment telling us which motorcycle you want covered next. The Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 represents a quiet revolution in the way cruisers are imagined and executed. For decades, Kawasaki's Eliminator line has stood as an entry point for riders who wanted a low seat height, manageable weight, and the kind of street presence that turned heads at stoplights. But the 2025 Eliminator SE is something more deliberate. It is a modern redefinition of the lightweight cruiser formula. Kawasaki infused it with technology and tuning that draw directly from its performance-focused lineup, yet kept the relaxed stance and comfort that make cruisers appealing. The result is a motorcycle that speaks to a generation of riders who crave comfort without dullness, speed without intimidation, and authenticity without compromise. This new iteration of the Eliminator SE centers on Kawasaki's 451 cubic centimeters parallel twin engine, an evolution of the power plant that's proven itself in the Ninja 400Z 400. But instead of chasing top-end performance, engineers tuned it for a broader torque curve, giving it a smooth surge of power that feels both accessible and eager. It's an engine that doesn't punish inexperience yet rewards a skilled hand with responsive acceleration. That balance between friendly and fierce defines the Eliminator SE's identity. It bridges the gap between classic cruiser ease and sportbike precision. The chassis follows the same philosophy. Rather than borrowing an old frame or sticking to the typical steel cradle design, Kawasaki developed a new trellis-style frame that keeps weight down while improving rigidity. The low 28.9-inch seat height makes it welcoming to a wide range of riders, while mid-mounted foot controls provide neutral ergonomics that resist fatigue. Combined with a wide handlebar and a 451 cubic centimeters engine that produces a lively but predictable 44 horsepower, the Eliminator SE gives riders the sensation of control rather than confrontation. It's a cruiser that listens to you, not one that dictates terms. Kawasaki also paid attention to suspension tuning. Up front, a 41mm telescopic fork offers compliance without excessive dive, while the twin rear shocks balance comfort and stability. The overall geometry leans slightly toward agility rather than pure straight-line cruising, meaning the Eliminator SE handles corners with surprising poise. On winding back roads or urban curves, it feels more nimble than its appearance suggests. For riders stepping up from smaller bikes or returning to the sport after years away, that confidence inspires a sense of discovery. Styling, of course, plays a major role in the Eliminator SE's appeal. Kawasaki's designers managed to blend minimalism with aggression. The elongated silhouette nods to traditional cruisers, but the clean LED lighting, digital instrumentation, and subtle color schemes give it a modern edge. The SE trim enhances this with premium finishes, a headlight cowl, and contrast-stitched seat that elevate the aesthetic without overdoing it. It looks premium yet approachable, modern yet timeless. That duality is what Kawasaki seems to be chasing. A design language that honors the past without being trapped by it. Then there's the comfort factor. The ergonomics, low seat height, and predictable throttle response make the Eliminator SE 2025 an ideal companion for both daily commuting and weekend rides. It doesn't demand constant gear changes or high revs. Instead, it settles into a rhythm that invites longer journeys. The upright posture and balanced weight distribution reduce fatigue, while the light clutch and precise gearbox add a layer of refinement that new riders will immediately appreciate. This is not a motorcycle built solely to look cool at the cafe. It's one designed to be lived with, ridden often, and enjoyed fully. For those interested in technology, the Eliminator SE doesn't disappoint. Kawasaki equipped it with a modern LCD display featuring Bluetooth connectivity through the Radiology app, allowing riders to track trip data, check maintenance logs, and customize settings. It's a subtle touch that brings the cruiser experience into the connected era without overwhelming simplicity. The inclusion of ABS ensures confidence in sudden stops, while the overall braking setup, single disc front and rear, delivers solid, progressive feel rather than brute force. Everything about this bike speaks to measured balance rather than excess. In many ways, the 2025 Kawasaki Eliminator SE represents a generational shift. It's aimed not only at younger riders but also those who have long wanted a cruiser that doesn't feel like a relic. Traditional cruisers often trade performance for looks, but Kawasaki decided that form and function could coexist. The result is a machine that delivers visual appeal with mechanical credibility. It doesn't scream rebellion. It whispers confidence. It isn't about dominating the boulevard. It's about enjoying every turn of it. Every line, every component, every decision on the Eliminator SE 2025 reflects Kawasaki's broader vision: to blur the boundary between categories. It's not quite a sport bike, not entirely a cruiser, and not just another mid-weight standard. It exists in its own lane, one that prioritizes control, comfort, and charisma equally. The bike's character invites comparison, but ultimately defies classification. Riders who once felt boxed in by the cruiser label now have a machine that expands that definition. The modern rider's expectations have evolved. They no longer want a single-purpose machine. They want adaptability. The 2025 Kawasaki Eliminator SE delivers just that. A motorcycle equally at home cruising through the city, gliding along coastal highways, or carving light curves in the countryside. It's the rare machine that feels as good at 30 miles per hour as it does at 70. That smoothness, that consistency, is what gives the Eliminator SE its distinctive voice in an increasingly competitive segment. The final impression of Segment 1 is this. The Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 has reinvented the entry-level cruiser into something sharper, lighter, and more versatile than ever before. It's the first sign that the cruiser category might finally be catching up to the rest of motorcycling's evolution. And it does so without losing the charm that made the genre iconic in the first place. The heart of the Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 lies in its engineering philosophy, where every part seems to serve more than one purpose. The 451 cubic centimeters parallel twin engine may appear modest on paper, but its execution reveals a thoughtful balance of performance and practicality. Kawasaki reworked the crankshaft, fuel mapping, and intake design to optimize mid-range torque, creating an engine that feels alive in daily riding yet never overbearing. The liquid cooling system maintains efficiency even in stop-and-go city traffic, while the 6-speed transmission keeps shifts precise and predictable. What stands out most is the sense of refinement. Vibrations are minimal, throttle response is linear, and every twist of the wrist delivers usable power. It's not just an engine, it's a personality that changes with the rider's intent. The Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 also benefits from its weight distribution. At just around 386 pounds wet, it's lighter than most bikes that share its styling cues. This lightness transforms the riding experience. Low-speed maneuvers feel effortless, parking lot U-turns don't induce anxiety, and lane changes on the freeway happen with surgical precision. Kawasaki positioned the mass close to the centerline, giving the Eliminator SE a planted, confident feel even in crosswinds. That's a crucial factor for newer riders who might otherwise find traditional cruisers intimidating. The design goal here wasn't just performance, it was approachability without compromise. Where the Eliminator SE begins to impress further is in its suspension dynamics. Kawasaki chose twin rear shocks over a monoshock setup, preserving the visual authenticity of a classic cruiser but tuning them for modern compliance. Paired with a 41mm front fork, the setup absorbs uneven pavement gracefully without feeling spongy. When leaned into a curve, the frame resists flex, and feedback from the tires remains communicative. It's a combination that builds trust, making the bike feel smaller than it is, a hallmark of well-tuned geometry. For city riders navigating potholes and suburban expansion joints, that compliance translates into daily comfort. For weekend riders seeking curvy escapes, it translates into confidence and control. The ergonomics on the Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 deserve special mention. Unlike most cruisers that force riders into forward-stretched positions, this motorcycle maintains a neutral triangle between the seat, pegs, and handlebars. The result is an upright, relaxed stance that doesn't punish wrists or lower backs. The seating itself uses dense foam with subtle contouring, accommodating longer rides without requiring aftermarket upgrades. Combined with a low seat height under 29 inches, It opens the door to riders of nearly any stature. The goal wasn't to intimidate or impress through size. It was to make the experience universally inviting. Kawasaki succeeded by designing ergonomics that fade into the background, letting the ride itself take center stage. In terms of design, the Eliminator SE 2025 carries a visual language that feels deliberately restrained. The elongated tank, tucked tail, and round LED headlight recall classic proportions, but modern cues, like the blacked-out engine casings, minimal bodywork, and contrast stitching, ground it firmly in the present. The SE trim's headlight cowl adds a hint of aggression without turning cartoonish. There's a fine line between retro and dated. Kawasaki walks it perfectly. The motorcycle looks sophisticated from every angle, whether parked at a cafe or idling at a light. It doesn't scream for attention, yet it commands it effortlessly. A defining strength of the Eliminator SE lies in how its mechanical and aesthetic elements support the same message: simplicity with purpose. There are no unnecessary chrome accents or exaggerated lines. Every piece feels essential. Even the exhaust system follows that principle, exiting cleanly with a deep but refined note that complements the bike's measured character. When you rev it, the sound projects confidence but never noise. That kind of restraint, especially in this category, is rare and refreshing. Kawasaki's commitment to making the Eliminator SE a truly modern motorcycle extends to the electronic suite. The LCD display is bright and legible even under direct sunlight. Its Bluetooth connectivity via the Radiology app allows riders to sync trip data, check maintenance intervals, and view notifications. Features typically reserved for larger, more expensive models. It's a nod to how riders interact with their machines in the digital age. But the brilliance lies in simplicity. The display doesn't overwhelm with submenus or unnecessary complexity. It supports the experience without dictating it. The braking system matches that balance. A single 310mm disc up front paired with a dual piston caliper and a 220mm rear disc deliver consistent stopping power. The standard ABS system intervenes smoothly without abruptness, giving even new riders the confidence to brake late and controlled. The lever feedback is firm, allowing progressive modulation whether you're descending a steep hill or navigating an unexpected traffic stop. Kawasaki didn't design the Eliminator SE 2025 to be a canyon carver, but it behaves like one when pushed within reason. Where many cruisers compromise cornering clearance for style, the Eliminator SE finds middle ground. Its foot peg placement and overall chassis design allow lean angles that would surprise anyone used to the cruiser stereotype. It's a bike that rewards proper technique. It encourages you to look through the corner, set the line, and enjoy the follow-through. For those transitioning from sportier machines, it feels like familiar territory wrapped in a more relaxed package. For those new to riding, it builds skill naturally without demanding heroics. The riding experience is capped off by Kawasaki's attention to finish quality. Switchgear feels tactile and precise. Paintwork has depth, and fasteners are well integrated rather than exposed. Even small touches like the cable routing and weld quality show the company's production maturity. These aren't just aesthetic details. They reflect reliability and longevity. For a mid-range motorcycle, the Eliminator SE 2025 feels like a product that punches well above its price tag. In essence, the Eliminator SE 2025 functions as both an introduction and an evolution. It introduces new riders to the joy of balanced design and evolves the concept of what a cruiser can be. There is no excess, no pretense, only harmony between intent and execution. Kawasaki managed to distill the essence of motorcycling into a package that feels approachable yet aspirational. That is what separates this bike from its peers. The Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 challenges assumptions without shouting about it. It doesn't need superlatives to prove its worth. It shows it through the ride. When you dismount after an hour of city cruising or a stretch of open highway, there's a quiet sense of satisfaction that lingers. It's the feeling that everything just works. The power, the handling, the comfort, the design, all in concert. That's what makes this machine more than another mid-weight cruiser. It's a reflection of how thoughtful engineering can elevate even the simplest joy of two wheels. The Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 marks a turning point in how riders perceive the cruiser category. For years, the idea of a cruiser was tied to bulk, chrome, and a slow, deliberate pace. Kawasaki has disrupted that formula with something leaner, sharper, and far more connected to the real-world needs of riders. The Eliminator SE is not just a motorcycle. It's a statement about evolution through restraint. By taking what worked from its Sportbike lineage and reinterpreting it for a laid-back platform, Kawasaki has crafted a machine that bridges old-school charisma with new-school precision. This is the natural next step in the Eliminator story, one that appeals to logic as much as it does to emotion. When you ride the Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025, you immediately sense the engineering intention. The low seat and neutral ergonomics make it feel accessible to almost anyone, but the chassis and suspension setup hint at a hidden athleticism. Roll on the throttle, and the 451 cubic centimeters parallel twin responds eagerly, pushing the bike forward with just enough urgency to keep things interesting. The experience is smooth, but not detached. It communicates feedback without overwhelming the rider. That clarity is part of what makes this machine special. It allows a sense of connection that many heavier cruisers obscure. Kawasaki understands that motorcycles are emotional instruments. The Eliminator SE plays that note perfectly between comfort and excitement. The dynamic potential of this motorcycle comes alive in the corners. It's here that the design philosophy truly reveals itself. The combination of lightweight construction and precise steering geometry allows the bike to flow naturally through bends, changing direction with little effort. It feels like a conversation between rider and machine rather than a negotiation. The tires offer predictable grip, the suspension remains composed, and the braking system responds with confidence. This isn't about aggressive performance. It's about consistency and trust. For everyday riders, that balance means less fatigue and more enjoyment. For experienced ones, it offers room to play without punishment. Cruiser culture often revolves around image. What a bike looks like, what it represents. The Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 shifts that focus back to substance. It's stylish without being showy, muscular without being intimidating. Riders who have long avoided cruisers because they felt too heavy or too one-dimensional might finally find their entry point here. Kawasaki's design invites rather than excludes. This openness broadens the category's reach, making it relevant to younger riders who value versatility over legacy. The Eliminator SE doesn't try to imitate the past. It builds upon it, offering the same spirit of freedom but with modern sensibility. Beyond its engineering and aesthetics, the Eliminator SE carries cultural significance. It speaks to a shift in priorities within motorcycling. The new generation of riders doesn't measure value by displacement or badge prestige. They measure it by usability, connectivity, and emotional payoff. Kawasaki anticipated that shift, delivering a product that resonates across demographics. The Bluetooth-enabled dash, the approachable ergonomics, and the smartly tuned engine are all reflections of this understanding. The company isn't chasing nostalgia. It's designing for the present. That awareness makes the Eliminator SE 2025 not just a good motorcycle, but a timely one. The comfort on longer rides reinforces this. With an upright position and forgiving suspension, the Eliminator SE glides through urban commutes and open road stretches with equal grace. The fuel economy remains respectable, adding practicality to its charm. Riders can spend more time enjoying the ride and less worrying about range or fatigue. This balance between performance and comfort used to be a rare combination in the cruiser space. Kawasaki has proven it's not only possible but deeply satisfying when executed with intention. One of the less obvious achievements of the Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 is how it redefines identity. Traditionally, a cruiser demanded that riders adapt to it, physically and stylistically. Here, the reverse is true. The Eliminator SE adapts to its rider. It can look relaxed on a boulevard, sporty on a winding road, and practical on a commute. That chameleon-like character is a major reason behind its growing appeal. It aligns with the way modern riders live. Fluid, dynamic, and unconstrained by old definitions. Kawasaki has effectively democratized the cruiser experience, making it inclusive rather than exclusive. Even its maintenance philosophy follows this approachability. The parallel twin engine is proven, simple to service, and supported by an extensive parts network. The electrical system is modern but not overcomplicated, allowing both dealerships and home mechanics to handle upkeep easily. This reliability translates into peace of mind. turning ownership from a commitment into a partnership. Riders are more likely to ride when their machines invite rather than intimidate, and the Eliminator SE does just that. It feels ready for whatever the day holds, whether it's a short trip across town or a long weekend escape. In terms of community impact, the Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 plays an interesting role. It's not a rebels machine or a nostalgia trip. It's a bridge. It connects different generations of riders, those who grew up idolizing big cruisers and those entering the sport in search of balance and technology. That connection is subtle but important. The Eliminator SE doesn't divide. It unites under the shared language of enjoyment. It's a machine that doesn't need to shout to make a statement. Its confidence lies in its composure. At its core, the 2025 Kawasaki Eliminator SE is a case study in evolution done right. The design is modern but grounded, the mechanics are familiar but refined, and the riding experience feels both exciting and reassuring. Kawasaki didn't try to reinvent the wheel. It simply polished it until it reflected the needs of today's motorcyclist. This approach has given the Eliminator SE a distinct identity in a crowded market. It's proof that thoughtful engineering and empathy for the rider can reshape even the most established genres. In the end, the Eliminator SE 2025 represents progress with purpose. It's not about chasing top speed or visual extravagance. It's about rediscovering why we ride in the first place. To feel the rhythm of the road, the pulse of the engine, and the freedom that comes with control. Kawasaki has distilled those sensations into a form that's accessible, efficient, and undeniably modern. The Eliminator SE isn't the loudest bike on the road, but it might just be the one that leaves the longest impression. The story of the Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 is more than a new chapter in a product line. It's a reflection of how the motorcycle industry itself is adapting to a changing audience. In the past, cruisers were symbols of rebellion, often heavy, chrome-laden machines built for style first and performance second. The Eliminator SE rewrites that formula with precision. Kawasaki recognized that modern riders want a motorcycle that doesn't compromise usability for image. The result is a cruiser that can keep up with today's lifestyle. Fast when it needs to be, comfortable when it matters, and efficient always. This adaptability marks a profound shift in design thinking, one that will likely influence competitors across the board. At the center of this transformation is the 451 cubic centimeters parallel twin engine powering the Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025. It represents the perfect blend of economy and excitement, able to glide through city streets one moment and confidently stretch its legs on open roads the next. Riders report how seamlessly it transitions from relaxed cruising to spirited acceleration, emphasizing the power band's smooth delivery. It's proof that displacement isn't destiny. Smart tuning can achieve more than brute force ever could. Kawasaki understood that for riders in today's world, where commutes, weekend rides, and leisure all blend together, versatility is worth more than excess horsepower. From an engineering perspective, the Eliminator SE 2025 also underscores Kawasaki's attention to detail in balance and weight management. Every element, from the lightweight trellis frame to the compact fuel tank, has been optimized to create stability without heaviness. This results in a riding experience that feels intuitive, even to those stepping up from smaller bikes. It gives riders permission to explore further, to take longer rides, and to trust the machine beneath them. That trust builds a deeper bond, one that extends beyond specifications and statistics. When a motorcycle feels like an extension of your body, you've reached the essence of motorcycling itself. The Eliminator SE captures that essence effortlessly. The aesthetics of the Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 serve as more than decoration. They're part of its storytelling. The bike's proportions, low, long, and subtly muscular, create a sense of grounded confidence. Its blacked-out mechanicals and LED lighting deliver a modern sophistication, while the stitched seat and optional headlight cowl add personality. Every angle feels intentional, from the sculpted tank to the clean tail section. Kawasaki has created a bike that draws attention not through flash, but through refinement. It's a design that rewards a closer look, revealing how minimalism and craftsmanship can coexist beautifully in a market often cluttered with excess. What truly cements the Eliminator SE's importance is its potential influence on future cruisers. By combining the comfort and character expected from this class with performance and practicality usually found elsewhere, Kawasaki has blurred the traditional boundaries that defined what a cruiser could be. That shift will push other manufacturers to respond, potentially leading to a new wave of light, efficient, and tech-forward machines aimed at a broader audience. The Eliminator SE 2025, then, isn't just a new motorcycle. It's a prototype for where the segment might go next. Riders who choose the Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 are not just buying a motorcycle. They're participating in that evolution. Each ride becomes a statement against stagnation, a reminder that innovation and tradition can move forward together. The bike's approachable ergonomics and balanced dynamics make it equally suitable for first-time buyers and seasoned riders looking for a simpler, purer connection to the road. This inclusivity gives it a cultural edge that many larger, more expensive machines lack. It feels personal, accessible, and real, qualities that increasingly define the future of motorcycling. Ownership, too, plays a role in this story. The Eliminator SE's maintenance simplicity, reliability, and affordability make it more than a passion project. It's a practical companion. Riders can easily handle regular upkeep without the stress of complex systems or proprietary tools. That ease encourages more time on the road and less in the garage. In a time when motorcycles often compete for attention with technology-heavy alternatives, this sense of mechanical honesty stands out. It reconnects riders with the tactile satisfaction of owning something they can understand. Community feedback around the Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 highlights its impact. Many riders describe it as the perfect bridge between categories. Comfortable enough for touring, agile enough for commuting, stylish enough for weekend meets. That balance is what makes it memorable. It's not a bike that demands you fit into a subculture. It adapts to whoever you are and wherever you ride. In doing so, it represents a quiet but meaningful victory for inclusivity in motorcycle design. The Eliminator SE's long-term legacy will depend on how riders continue to interpret it. Some will see it as a reimagined entry-level cruiser. Others will see it as a compact performance bike with classic sensibility. Both interpretations are correct, because Kawasaki built the Eliminator SE 2025 to be versatile enough for multiple identities. That openness ensures longevity in a market that changes as quickly as the roads beneath us. By focusing on fundamental qualities, balance, comfort, reliability, and design, the Eliminator SE has created a foundation strong enough to influence future models for years to come. Ultimately, the Kawasaki Eliminator SE 2025 reaffirms why motorcycles matter in an increasingly automated world. It's a reminder that progress doesn't have to mean losing soul, and modern technology can coexist with emotional connection. Kawasaki has proven that with careful engineering and empathy for riders, even a cruiser, a form long considered resistant to change, can evolve gracefully. The Eliminator SE stands as proof that the future of motorcycling can still honor its past while moving boldly forward. That duality is what gives this machine its enduring resonance. It's not just a product of innovation. It's a symbol of continuity, reminding every rider why two wheels will always mean freedom.